What's up, everyone? Hope everybody's having a great day today. I'm Tom Houghton, our Director of Production at Buildertrend. I also co-host our podcast, The Building Code, coming to you live from Omaha, Nebraska. How's everybody doing today? Give me a thumbs up as you come on in if you're doing great. Good to see everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We're having another COVID conversation. We're back. Currington Homes, thanks for joining. Gallup and Lafitte, maybe? Leave me a note in the comments on that. Hope everybody's having a great day today. We're gonna have a COVID conversation with Nick Young from Better Choice Builders. Super excited to talk to Nick. He's based in Arizona. We, of course, at Buildertrend have been having conversations across the entire world to find out what builders are doing during this time, during COVID, but also just to check in and see what's up, see what everybody's up to. It's a great way to kind of get to have a candid conversation with them. So thanks so much for tuning in. Clean Cut Roofing, thanks for tuning in. DBS Remodels in the house. How's it going? Let me throw out some waves here. Give me a heart if you're having a great day so far. It's Wednesday, which is fantastic. That's one of my favorite days of the week. Halfway through. Depending on, of course, your work schedule and depending on your time zone too, because we do have folks that might be tuning in from down under, I guess. Let's see, anybody here from down under, just leave me a note in the comments as well. So good to see everybody tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna get Nick Young on in a second to have a COVID conversation with him. So thank you for tuning in to that. Just check it out, and we'll be bringing Nick on in just a second. But in the meantime, let me tell you about some other fun things that we're working on. We've got lots of great content coming out for you, our followers of Buildertrend on our blog. Don't forget to check out our blog. Got a couple great posts there this week. We've got a couple great podcasts coming up. Lots of great content. So keep your eyes and ears open for all the great stuff for our team's producing. And of course, we've got the Buildertrend Online Conference. If you haven't heard about that, you should check it out. Buildertrend.com/online-conference is the way to find out about that. So make sure you check that out. There we go. Awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in. Also, if you have a question for Nick before he joins, go ahead and leave me a note in the comments, or you can use that little comments box question thing. I'll pull that up as well. And, we'll do that as well. So, hey! Awesome.
That's what it was. It was the phone. That was a weird piece.
That was. But I guess we've learned the moral of the story is don't use an Android phone.
Yeah. I've back and forth a few times, and that was probably the deal breaker right there.
There you go.
So.
Well, and I should clarify. It's okay if you use an Android phone. It's just, better choice. I'm thinking better choice, better iPhones. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
It's funny. Every single person in this office, and there's quite a few of us, every person has Apple, and I have the Android. So it's about time to make a change.
I guess so. We'll welcome you into the family either way.
Well, I appreciate it.
Awesome. Nick, thank you so much for joining me via live today. Let's get started. We got lots of things we want to talk about. First of all, how are you doing? Tell me what it's like in Arizona right now. Obviously, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. But tell us what life's like in Arizona.
It's sunny. That's for sure. With everything that's going on, it's actually been it's well handled, well managed, pretty much across all fronts. Luckily, we're surrounded with pretty awesome clients, and we're also surrounded by awesome builders. We're in a very competitive market. I've seen a couple on here, Brad with AFT. We've got Jeff Rogers. We've got a lot of really, really good and experienced builders. And we're able to bounce things back and forth and ask questions and watch your guys' videos. And so it's gone a lot smoother with the technology and platforms that we have.
Awesome.
Anticipated.
Good. That's awesome. That's great to hear. We love hearing the positive side of things. And that's why we also thought we'd check in with you. I mean, I feel like on your social media, you guys are posting a lot of stuff like you're up and running. You're out there doing stuff.
Yeah. We had about a 48-hour window, and I'm sure everybody went through that same shock phase, and we thinking, oh man, what's going to happen? But honestly, I can say, and it's not just because I'm on this video, but it's because of Buildertrend. As cliche as that sounds, we haven't used software for a while. We started using you guys a couple years ago, and we use it so much that we brought on someone that used to work for you guys, and so she helps us integrate every piece of it, build out templates, help us communicate with the clients and subs when we're not able to meet on site, and allowing our supers and bookkeepers and everybody to work remotely yet be collaborating on everything. And so it's been a huge piece.
Awesome. That's an interesting strategy. Just really quick, for those of you just tuning in, I'm joined by Nick Young from Better Choice Builders, and we're talking about building during this time, everything going on. So if you got a question for Nick too, shoot it in the comments. We'd love to answer it. But this is an interesting strategy of, hey, we want to implement Buildertrend. Let's just hire one of their employees to do that. That's a new take for me. I haven't really heard too many people doing that.
It was the dominoes fell and it worked out perfectly. We've used it for 2 or 3 years now, and we have a lot of different divisions. We do real estate, house flipping, customs, neighborhoods, remodels. We have a plumbing division, and so we use Buildertrend on all fronts. And we were getting by, you could say, for the first little while, and then she came on and is telling us how we should be using it and showing us how we should be using it. And luckily, it couldn't have come at a better time with what's going on.
Sure.
It was taking us a while to implement and train and figure things out and use all the pieces that need to be used while we're away from each other. And so it worked out fantastic.
Yeah, I want to dive in more to that in a second, but just to give some more context, you guys started your company back in 2008, right during the recession, or right after it kind of hit. So you guys are, this is like, you've been through this before, right? You're just a glutton for punishment, I guess.
Yeah. In the Phoenix area, and we started in real estate, we were hit hard in 2008, 2009, and we learned to diversify. That's what we've learned over the years, and so we have recession-proof companies where we can scale back and scale up when needed. And our staff is awesome. We hire on the intangibles, people that can move and pivot and adjust as things fluctuate, allowing us to maximize in areas where we need to. So yeah, it's nothing, obviously nobody's gone through what we've gone through over the past few months, but as far as the economy, it's nothing, we're fairly used to it. We went through the massive turn down in 2008 in the market, and learned a lot of good, a lot of bad, and we've tried to implement as much good as we can over the past little bit, and it's working so far.
That's awesome. I mean, I love talking to builders like yourself who are always learning. I think that's such a crucial thing for people to pick up on, is that you can really have success if you take that mentality of how can we always be better in this situation. And of course, you have it literally in the name of your company, which is fantastic. Big fan of that. But I want to talk a little about this hybrid thing. So we've kind of talked about this term a little bit at Buildertrend, about hybrid builders, people who diversify what they do. You mentioned that, obviously, so you've got your custom homes building side, you've got a real estate side, and then you mentioned plumbing, and then also like just development, but that might fall into the real estate side of things as well. Tell me, what was the driving factor? And also like plumbing, like that seems like, okay, I got the homes, got the thing, and then like specifically plumbing.
Yeah. So, I mean, it all started back when the recession hit previously in 2008. We were building or buying a bunch of homes. And unfortunately people were getting foreclosed on. And so we had to pivot. We weren't able to just sell like we traditionally would. And we came to a crossroad. We said we can function like a traditional real estate company and kind of plateau and just take the hits when they come, or we can try and expand what we do and our expertise and our resources to capitalize on as things change. And so we started doing that, and as we saw that shift, we started buying up land, and we would develop the land, and we put in a little neighborhood and built out some spec homes, and it went really, really well. And with those specs, people were asking us if we build customs, so we started building customs, and then it kind of evolved over time, over the years, and now we have a few divisions, and they all are managed individually, but it's all one. And it's been phenomenal. The plumbing thing came on about 6 months ago, so it's a fairly new. We merged with another plumber that's been around for a while, and he does a lot of restoration work and things like that. And with us doing flips, remodels, neighborhood specs, customs, there's a lot of plumbing to be done in those homes, and so it was a good fit. And so now we have in-house plumbing, plus we can provide for other builders and other agents and other clients out there. And so our staff is pretty lean. You would think with that much going on that we have a staff, but it's pretty lean, and it's because they've been awesome. We have a software that is flexible to take on all sorts of different industries, and we have staff that is willing and able to pivot. And one day you might be managing a flip, and one day you could be managing $1 million custom home, and it's worked out pretty well.
That's awesome. You found a way to figure out how to be light on your feet, it sounds like, which is, of course, in times like these, it definitely helps.
Yeah, we've learned along the way, and we try and, like I said, try and take the good and progress from there.
Yeah. I saw, I think also so speaking about kind of everything that's going on right now, you guys just had an open house, which when I saw that, I was like, wow, I wonder how that's working with everything that's going on right now. So can you share a little bit about how the open house went? And is that like a thing where you're at? I mean, again, here in Omaha, Nebraska, things are opening up, but I was thinking like, wow, open houses, like, okay, sure.
Yeah, we postponed it a little while, and we knew that was going to happen. We did a virtual open house about a week or two before. Yeah, and there's the home. We had a lot of people interested, wanting to come see it, and so we did stage it. A certain amount of people in the home, in one area, out the other area, so there wasn't a whole lot of congestion. The home is large enough to where everybody's spread out pretty well. We had masks made that were handed out at the entrance. We tried to take all the precautions that we could, and it turned out really well. We didn't have any big issues come up, and it worked out really well.
Awesome. I know. So I also saw, I think you guys did like a social giveaway or whatever too, as part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was a genius idea as a way to get people to come out. You know, obviously if you're on the fence, but you want a new house, like this is a great way you can go check out a great house and potentially win a prize, you know?
So in the past, open houses have been kind of a lot of our lead. We don't really do any marketing outside of what's on social media, and we've been extremely blessed with it. Our open houses, we try and have one every quarter or so of a custom or a spec, and we probably get a buyer's list for the real estate side of 10 to 15 people, and then we'll get 5 to 10 custom home clients straight out of that open house. And so we do put a little more effort into it. We have food trucks, we have raffles, we have all sorts of stuff. So it's not just a walk in and out type thing. And the whole team's there. We're talking to people. We're getting to know everybody. We like to be personable, and it worked out really well. And this one had a really good turnout.
That's awesome. I mean, I think that's such a great idea, such a great way to get some leads. And by the way, if you're not following Better Choice Builders, you can follow them at bchomes.build, right? That's your Instagram. Of course, you can just tap on here to get to there. But so give them a follow, because you can see some of their great work. Like, I think this is also from that house. Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I mean, just gorgeous work that you're doing there. You know, I'm curious. I don't see, I mean, again, I'm not super familiar with the Arizona, Phoenix area real estate, but I don't see a ton of like 2 stories there. I feel like most of it's, you know, ranches, really high, tall cathedral ceilings. I mean, do you guys do a lot of 2-story work?
Not really. This one is actually one of our model homes that we build for clients all the time. Extremely popular, functional layout. We had a lot of people want a loft. And so there's a 1,700 square foot loft upstairs with the bathroom, and it's got really good feedback. And our background, we're from Texas. We're not from Arizona. And so we were trying to bring in, you'll notice a lot of our homes we try and go brick or shingle roof or a steeper pitch, just to kind of bring in some of that southern feel. And it's been welcomed quite a bit.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Speaking of things that are welcomed, of course, great communication is always welcomed. And I know that's something that you guys pride yourself on, is trying to be a better listener to your clients. How has using technology helped you with that process?
I could go on a while with this. I'm an avid Buildertrend user. We use every function of it, or we try to at least. Catalogs, the subs are integrated. Clients use their portals, change orders, every piece of it. And with COVID and what's going on, we've really started hitting on communication back and forth, whether it be within a daily log, a selection item, a bid item, and we've had our subs put their own daily logs. And so without having to cross paths or both meet at the site, our subs are putting in daily logs with photos, updates, what's coming up, what they need. We can comment right back and with pictures and a to-do list, and it's worked out phenomenally. Same thing with the clients. We send them out all their selections they need with a catalog and pictures and links, and we just comment back and forth. We have someone here in the office, that's all she does, is communicate with the client. And this software, we use this linked with Salesforce on the CRM side, but it would be really hard to maneuver some of these things without something to use as a platform.
Yeah. Maybe you could share, I mean, because they said you've obviously been using Buildertrend for a couple of years now. What was it like before? Like, did you have multiple systems? Did you even have systems and processes? Was it the wild, wild west? What, give me an idea. Show me behind the curtain of what happened beforehand.
That's a good question. We text messages, emails, phone calls, notepads, and we were limited to what we were doing. We couldn't take on, we tried taking on because we thought we were invincible and could take on everything. And so we really quickly learned, oh man, I can't manage 15 customs at a time via text message. And so we started dabbing into the process, and we realized just with the implementation of a platform like this, you can double or triple or quadruple the amount of projects that you can manage just because it's organized and clean, and there's a place for clients to go so they're not constantly contacting you. Subs can go there. That's been the biggest change. Before it was we were capped, and we knew we were capped. And so we decided to make a move and implement and make some real changes, and it's paid off.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. I keep trying to tell people, so construction plus technology equals profit growth. I literally just posted something else. I mean, of course, from Buildertrend, it seems like it's all just self-promotion, but it's not just us who are saying this. There's hundreds of studies that have been proven that if you're leveraging technology and you're increasing your communication, you're able to scale more jobs, you're able to be more productive on the job site. And this, of course, ultimately helps your business. And I know that we've had a lot of people during this time, just like yourself, you're trying to dive in deeper to Buildertrend. There's a lot of new people out there who are just getting started with software. What would be some tip that maybe if you wouldn't mind sharing, a tip that helped you kind of get started? Because it's always a little intimidating. You want to dive in, you want to learn something new, but it's always like, oh, do I have time for this? I don't know. What would you say to those people?
Yeah, that's a good one. I would say don't bite off more than you can chew from the beginning. I was so excited to get a software like this rolling. I was like, man, we're gonna use selections, we're gonna use logs, we're gonna use catalogs, we're gonna do invoicing, our bills, POs, everything out of here. And I really quickly learned that that's a lot. It can do a lot. And so we dialed it back, and we implemented little pieces at a time, mostly with our superintendents to help resolve some things in the field with daily logs. Daily logs and the schedule portion is a huge piece of the software for what we use it for. And once you nail those two down and get those on a good routine and a good process, then branch off of that.
Yeah, that's good advice. I mean, I'm a big fan of daily logs. It's a great way to communicate not only with your team, but also with your clients. Do you guys, in your experience, do you make one daily log and then just share it with everybody, or do you split out daily logs? Do you do separate daily logs for clients?
We've gone back and forth. We implemented a scorecard, so we have X amount of logs per project per week that need to be completed. And just a little side note, I'm big on documentation. Pictures can say 1,000 words, and so that's why we do so many logs. You never know when you need a certain angle or a certain note or something that might come up a year or 2 or 3 years down the road. But we've done it both ways. If there's something and the clients haven't been updated in a few days, we'll do a specific daily log just for the client with a real quick rundown of what's coming up, more excitement, more personable message. And then we'll do an internal log of, hey, I noticed these items we don't necessarily want to bother the client with, but we need to keep track on our end and make sure the subs are aware. So at times we separate them, but we pride ourselves on relationship, and it's when you're building a house, it's a marriage for a long time.
Yeah.
And we start all of these projects with really good communication, and we like to have that relationship established. And so we talk to them like we talk to each other here. And it makes it to where we can create these daily logs. It's not like we have to format it specifically for a client. We can talk to them. We're open. We're transparent on pricing, everything. And that has helped eliminate redundancy and eliminate too many logs.
Awesome. Yeah. If you're just joining us, first of all, thanks so much. Nick, great feedback on that. If you've got a question for Nick, feel free to drop it in the comments. We're just having a conversation about how they use technology in their construction business, what's happening in their neck of the woods in Arizona. Obviously, it's hot there, so there's that, you know. Speaking of hot, this garage looks pretty hot. Let me pull this up. Oh, that was a fantastic screenshot. This is the roof of a garage that I think you posted, a 2,200 square foot garage. Is that right?
That is right, yeah.
This is massive. I mean, obviously, I think your post that you're like, I could probably find toys to fill this with. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Walk me through this project. I mean, this obviously is a custom thing. I'm assuming you don't typically build every house with a 2,200 square foot garage.
I wish we did. That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
A custom here in Gilbert, just right down the street from our office, and we just finished up another custom down the street from this one. So it's been really good getting subs out there. The house, it's an awesome floor plan. Probably one of the favorites that I've done in the last while. It's a little under 10,000 feet with a casita, and then the 2,200 square foot garage and large patio areas. We'll start posting a lot more pictures and videos of it because it's got some cool features to it.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see those come to life on Instagram. Again, of course, if you're not following them, make sure you give them a follow so you can join along in the journey. So Casitas, you mentioned that. I know that's kind of a popular thing. I mean, how often are you doing those?
You know, once you start peeling the onion, it just keeps coming. So when I say divisions, within new construction, we do detached garages, casitas, specs, customs, and we like the detached garages and casitas. We have superintendents that just do those and trades that just do those. They're quicker, and when in construction, cash flow is important. And when you have projects that are 10, 12, 16, 18 months long, you need some fillers to get that cash flow rolling. And so we've found that following the same system, same process, same template, same training, we can do these projects on a 30, 60, 90-day basis, and it's worked out great. So we actually picked up quite a bit this year in casitas and detached garages.
That's good. So are you seeing, coming out of this season, are you seeing an increase in interest and traffic from people?
Yeah, it's been strange. Like we picked up 6 more employees over the past 30 days. And so we were extremely glad that we didn't need to let anybody go. We didn't have to do any layoffs, and instead we did the exact opposite. And the amount of people coming in looking for builds and looking for remodels it's good to hear. It's good to see that people feel confident to go out and continue on with some of these projects.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think this time also everybody's stuck at home. Everybody's already dreaming of like what they want to do next for like a remodel, or they're like, I need a different house. Get me out of this current house. You know, they're They're like, we're done with this. Let's move on. We'll do something different. So that's
That's,
great to hear that.
I think that's where the casitas and detached garages are coming in. People are working from home. They need a little more space, and it's a lot of companies are probably going to start or allow their employees to stay working from home if productivity stays the same. I know we have a couple that it didn't make a huge difference, and if it's easier for them, easier for their family, then we let them stay home. And that's probably where this increase in traffic is coming from.
Yeah. That's awesome. And it's a great point. I mean, obviously here at Buildertrend, so we're all still working from home just to keep everybody safe. We have over 500 employees, so it's a little difficult to get everybody back in one building, negotiating all of that. But, our productivity has been great. Obviously, technology has been a huge part of that. So let's talk about how technology and communicating with your customers, specifically during this time, current customers, have you had to increase video calls with them, or are you doing on-sites with them still?
No, we within the team, we've been doing Zoom calls. We've been meeting a lot less frequently as a team, and in smaller groups. We'll do just the superintendents, for example. A lot of Zoom calls with both our employees and the clients. And honestly, we have posted videos and photos within our logs and treat that as a meeting, because a lot of our clients, some of them are working long hours if they're in the medical industry. And we don't want to bombard them and bother them with a walkthrough. If we can figure out a way to pre-record and document everything and send it to them in a way to where they can review it when they have time, and it's worked out really well.
I love hearing that. I'm a big fan of using video on the job site. Obviously, I already mentioned using photos and daily logs. I think a natural extension of that is using video. Again, I'm a big fan. Sorry about that, but it was so great because you can take a video, you can post in your daily log. And then the other part about it that I love about our software is that your homeowner can share that on social media, and there you're getting free advertising. All you're doing is you're like, hey, I'm just doing my job. I'm just walking the site here and just filming. But hey, this is now a marketing tool for your company. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. So any tips for like how you're coming out of this time stronger? Anything that you're specifically working on? Any areas of focus?
A lot of systems and processes. I think everybody right now is wanting to make sure if, and hopefully not, but if something like this happens again, that we're well prepared. And a lot of us, including ourselves, are realizing we weren't fully prepared in our systems and processes. You find out really quickly when your employees are working from home and you can't just jump back and forth into each other's offices.
Yeah.
And so for us, we're building out our systems, processes, templates, catalogs, updating everything so that it's seamless across all boards and everybody has access. And new hires that come on, it just makes it that much easier for training and moving things along.
That's awesome. Well, look, I know you're probably really busy managing a whole bunch of different projects. Of course, it's a little streamlined with your usage of Buildertrend. We, of course, appreciate you're part of the Buildertrend family. I want to end this. I thought maybe we'd just check to see, like, what's your favorite place to eat at around where you're at? Now, anytime I'm in the Phoenix area, of course, I stop by In-N-Out because we, of course, don't have that here in Omaha, Nebraska. I dreadfully miss that from my days of out and living in California. But what's your favorite place?
I've got a few. My favorite is probably there's an Italian called Oregano's, but the most popular by far, Chick-fil-A. We've got kids, and going and getting a quick chicken sandwich can't get much better.
Yeah, they invented the chicken sandwich, so you'd hope they perfected it, which I think they have. And of course, as a family man like yourself, I've got kids as well. They love going to Chick-fil-A. Of course, our like interiors are still. Is like the playground open and stuff still? Oh, okay. Yeah. It's still good food.
What's that?
I was saying it's still good food. They just, of course, miss being able to go in and play on the playground. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we'll get back there. We'll keep moving on.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nick, thank you so much for joining me today and chatting about everything that's happening down there in your area. And of course, we wish you success in your business going forward. And I'm sure, once all this clears up, maybe I'll stop down and say hi in person.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. We're more than welcome.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
Have a great day.
Thanks.